Good evening friends, and in this video we are going to do analysis of the Titanic .csv file we'll be getting from the Kaggle, and at the same time we'll be introducing you some ideas about the Kaggle along with some NumPy arrays and analysis on the CSV file downloaded from the Kaggle. So now we are planning to do this. We'll be downloading the file called the Titanic.csv, and with this file it had the informations about the number of passengers boarded the Titanic ship, the class, the price, and their genders, etc. Some informations are there which will be working on them and deriving informations on them. We'll be also using the NumPy arrays and the matplotlib.py plot just to plot the various things, and we will be working more on the grouping, indexing, changing the index, and masking of the dataset, so that you can work how you can also understand how to work with these kind of data sets. Thank you very much. Just subscribe to our channel and keep going with us. This is our Titanic dataset. This is picture represent this is Titanic's ship which sank into the Atlantic Ocean. And now here you see that I have Anaconda Navigator, where it offers different kind of interfaces. Jupyter notebook can be created from here. You can work on R also. This R is also programming language which is used in data science and statistical analysis, but I prefer working on the Jupyter. So here I clicked on the I'm launching my Jupyter notebook, and then you can get this is the Jupyter notebook I have already launched. I have named it also, and its name is Titanic notebook, and this is based on the Python 3. This is the latest one. Now you see that I'm to get the dataset. From where will you get your dataset? Then you have to go on the Kaggle. First you have to create your account there on the Kaggle, and then only you can get the dataset. You can download the dataset from the Kaggle. Now since I have already have an account on the Kaggle, there's already this profile. You can see my image is there, and what it offers, this is my name, and it offers different kind of data sets. From here there are various universities, and it has a lot of group of people who are attached to this Kaggle. Kaggle also offers the competitions where you can win the handsome money in the range of 20,000 US dollars to 50,000 US dollars. I have never participated in those competitions, but in the future I am really going for it. So you can create your notebook also on the Kaggle, and you can get your data set from the Kaggle. You can find your different courses also Kaggle offers. At the same time, the Kaggle also provides you job competitions, the platform to discuss along with the data sets which are currently more meaningful. Now here say it is offering you the notebook also. So if I click, now I've clicked on the create new notebook. It is just very much similar like Jupyter notebook or the Google Colab, or this is the Kaggle kernel notebook, you can say. So all these work in the similar fashion, but one just like someone is Google Colab is working on the GPU and the TPU also, but this one I think it works on the normal, just like the Jupyter notebook. So here you see you can select your language. Here you can select Python or R, whatever you are feeling, but we are working with Python. It offers two type of notebooks. One is notebook, another is script based terminal, but we are going for the notebook. So this you see it is just like the Jupyter. It is you can say the browser based or the web based terminal, where you can see the kaggle.com, and my profile name is there, and then you can find that my notebook 7 with some other names, like some other indices is given there. Now if I run on this, but first let it get ready, because it's not ready yet to receive the commands. So when it's ready, it will offer the similar cells like the Jupyter notebook, where you can write your codes and you can click on the run button, so that the execution will be done, and you can just look at the different data sets or different results from your instructions. So this is Very good. And now here, see, this is Python 3 environment, and it's already offering me that the NumPy Pandas OS has already been. Now I'll check whether the Python is running properly or not. So first I write just printf www.edcrafts.com, and then here I click on the run. I'm just showing you that you can work here also, but since I work on the Jupyter notebook, I'll go there. Oh, printf, it's not printf, it's just like print. That's why it is giving it first error. So this is the output, and you can put add-ons all there. You can just run the cells, just like the Jupyter notebook. It offers like it's a complete setup, complete notebook where you can get your job done. Now just for demonstration, I'm running this for loop for I in range 10, and then I'll just print I, so that you can see that here you can download your get your data set, and then you can give instructions to each cell, and just like the Jupyter notebook, you can find the results. So now this is getting ready. So this is the output. Now see, so this is way, it is just for demonstration. I'll be using Google Jupyter notebook. I have worked on the Google Colab also, but you need to focus more into the data science rather on these platforms. Now let me find, how can you find the data sets. This is the data set. So you click on this, you can find different kind of data sets there. I'll just type what I'm seeking, like Titanic data set. So it has different kind of data sets created there. Just I can, I see Kaggle plus Wikipedia. Some have been obtained from the Wikipedia Titanic datasets. I have worked on this Titanic dataset, downloaded from there, and then I placed it in the very same folder where my documents are there in Jupyter notebook in this environment. So now you might have seen that if you have placed your Anaconda navigator in the C drive, then your by default your like, suppose if your default will be C, and then users, inside the users you may have a name, and inside that name you can find all these files. So I have downloaded my Titanic dataset and I have placed it into this. Now let me see what it offers. So the import NumPy, import pandas at PD. Now I'll take matplotlib also, but in this video I will be just exploring how you can derive different kind of informations from the Titanic dataset. I'm not plotting anything, but just for sake of importing, I imported these lines. Okay, now let me open the dataset, and the name of the dataset is Titanic.csv. This is the comma separated values. So you write the df is pd.read_csv, and the name in the double quotes Titanic.csv. Now here it goes. Run df, print df. Now see, this is the data set. This has got some index, and then the passenger id, survived, p class. This is the class of, means in the ship they made the three kind of three categories, three classes, you can say, first class, second class, sleeper class. Like this was just like the first class, p1, p2, p3. Then it has got the names, sex, age, and other informations like the ticket number. Then you can see that the one is SIBSP, that is whether they have any siblings present on this. Parts means whether some customers or some passengers had the family. Then ticket number, fare, then the cabin, and embarked is a type of category. So all these features are present there, and its size is also something around 850. Let me just scroll back just to show you that what will be the approximate size of this data set. So you can see 3, 36, 39, 312. So the 12 columns we see, starting from the passenger ID, survived, the P class, till the category that survived or not. That's 891 and 12 columns. Now you can see. So the data set gives you 891 into 12 columns. Now you can see that the df dot head 5. So you can see the first top 5 rows from the top, and this is indexing is always beginning from 0, so it says like 0 1 2 3 4. Then you can write the df dot d types, and when you type df dot d types you can find different type of the data. These are the pandas, you can say the series passenger id, which is integer 64, survived is integer 64, p class is also integer 64, names are object because they are the structures, sibling presence, like the sibling presence on ships, integer 64, parts is also integer 64, and the ticket is objects, and the fare is the float value, cabin. Now just if you want to convert this data set into the excel, so you can also convert this, because in offices people store the data in the form of the excel spreadsheets. So df.to underscore excel is just like the titan dot xlsx, and the sheet name can be written as passengers or something like that. That will be the name given to the sheet. And index, you can make it true or false depending on what you want. So here I write false. Now if I write, then this data set will be stored into a Microsoft Excel file, and its name will be titan dot. Now let me show you that where it is. Okay, so I have to open this file. Now this is my users. Inside the user there is public and one is user as in. Now here you can find this excel file. So I have two kind of the applications which can open this one is the wep, another is excel. So now this is the xls worksheet, name is titan, what the name we just provided few minutes back. So this is title. Now you can double click on this to check whether the file has been created or not, because from the CSV we have created our data set, and that data set is converted into the Excel. So because the Python gives you a lot of control over manipulations of the data in whatever forms they are. You can convert in CSV files, or you can get it into the Excel. The Excel sheets can also be manipulated and programmed using Python. So there is no boundary or there is no restrictions. You're free to apply your mind. What is essential is just the knowledge, applicability, and purpose, that what you want to do with the given data set. Now this is the WPS Office. This is not the Microsoft Excel, this is WPS Office. Now you can see otherwise the purpose. Index is false, means there is no indexing. It's just like the assignment passengers ID actually it is, and then survived, P class, name, sex, age, and like that. So now let me come here. So you see the index, what was present there in this data sheet, because we wrote index equal to false, that's why this index was not present in the Excel file. Now the df.info, the kind of informations, what this data sheet information, what information this data sheet actually provides. So you see it is the range index from 891 0 to 890, column total column 12, then the passenger ID 891. All these values are non-null, and the type is integer 64. So if you see parts 891 not null, integer 64, embarked is also 869 and non-null, and this is type object. Now if you want to find out the age of those persons, just you want to select only one panda series, one series from there, its name is F. So now this is C. The first one is giving you the passenger ID, and second one is the name what I have just selected. Okay, so now this is, we are traversing inside the data set to find what we are really willing to find. Now I'm grouping. Now if you just want to find out the integer age 32, sorry, this is not going to take because it is not stored into that form, in the string form. You just write in the integer value. So if you write like age 34, at least you can find some information that this is nan, because there's nothing like that with the age 32. Okay, now type that if you want to see the type of A's, so already you know that this is A's is stored in the integer 64, and the whole this vertical arrangement you see that is called as the Panda core series or the Panda series. Now if I just write that the df dot A's and find its shape, then it will be 891 because there are 891 rows and 12 columns, and the A's is one just particular column. Now you can find that the A's in sex grouping, like the based on the A's and sex of the passengers. So you can find that the df and then the first inside the box, just look at these are represented in the form of the lists. So df, and inside this you are provided the list of these two A's and sex. Now I'm printing, now you got the A's and sex. Okay, cool. So now you find slowly I'm just trying to traverse that according to my necessities and according to my desire. I can make the different groupings and I can access to those. So it is just like indexing, and now see A's 6 0 to 6, so it means 0 to 5 because it's just like the normal arrays where the things begin with 0. So 0 to 5, 0 1 to this 6. Now if you want to fetch the A6 like from the row 50 to 65, so it will start from 50 and will go one less, that is 64. So from 50 to 64 because it has 891 elements. So this way you can slice the data. Now you can find the shapes will give you 15 and 2. So it has got the 15 rows and 2 columns, and one column is A's, other column is sex, because this is how we have framed. This is one we have truncated a part of this. Now if I'm looking for those people who have got the A's 35, like the elements of the data sets which has got the A's more than 35 also, you can see. So df, and inside the df you can see the box is there. So the df is 35. Now you see, so above 35 will shoot because I have written a df box A is greater than 35. So A is 35. Okay, equal 35. Let me select first equal 35, then I'll go for A is 35. So 15 2. So there are 2 columns, 2 persons are there which has got a 15 persons are there, and the 2 columns. So it means there are 15 persons are there who got the A's 35, and these are the names of those persons. So now if I want to count, then again 15 it will show because count is, see, passenger ID 18, survived 18, P class 18, all these are 18. So the fee is underscore 35. Now if you want to find the shapes, again it will be 18 by 12. So 12 is the rows, 18 is the rows, 12 is the column. Now if I go for greater than 35, then you can see that this is 217 by 12. So this is the way you just have to regroup the elements, and then you have to work on the data set, because this is how exactly it works. Okay, so now if I want to make the grouping differently, like df age is greater than 40, like those persons whose age is greater than 40. So now this is giving me a series in terms of the true and false values. So this is the Python series, and the output is the data type is boolean, of course. So now the next type of information is what you want to get from the given Titanic data set is the A's, or you can say you can use the statistical things also, the class 23, class 2 and 3. So this is, there are 3 classes. Already have seen the data set, it has got the 2 classes, and class 1, class 2 and class 3. Now I'm just trying to check whether the class 2 and 3, like the df box df p class is in 2 comma 3. So I'm just checking for the class 2 and class 3 whether it is present inside this or not. So now let me print this and then you get your answers. Dot head. So I just want to print the first 5 from this. Now you can see these are the class 2 and 3 together. So now if you see that the P class, it is just showing all 3, then all 2, whether it is present there or not, and then so now you see class 23 is DF. It's all probing, you can say just like you're scripting, typing the questionnaires, and the program is offering you all this. So DF P class equals 2 or DF P class equals 3. So this is going into the logical or combination, either this or that. So now let me see in class 23, just print it to check what it has. Okay, so it's just giving you all collections of class 2 and class 3, and now see, so the class 1 is truncated. Now it has 675 rows and 12 columns. So this is the way you can derive the various kind of information. You can find the average price. Now is not an A, means there are some ages which are not a number. So just we are checking, are there some ages which were not a number, means some people were there whose age was not known at that time. Now let me check. This should not be a function. Yes, this should not be a function. Okay, so 700 and so many people were there in that group. Yes, 714 by 12 columns. Like these are those things whose name were not there, ages were not there. Now adult df dot location. So we are just trying to find out the name of that person who are adult and their ages are greater than 35. We are just looking for their names and sex. Okay, so this is not allowed. Only you can write enter 1. You have to put in the boxes. Some of the things from the last many years are just reshaping into the Panda series of Python also. Now this statement says that this will have some tuple keys, and in the future you cannot use it. Like there is another alternative, like you can use reindex for that rather than going for this traditional way of questioning the data set. So now here you see, now this is giving you in terms of the nan and the sex of those persons, because we entered the name greater than 35 name and the sex. Now just let me write name only, because this tuple is not giving concrete result. So now if you print this one, again some error is there. So inside this we have written df.lock location, and the df is greater than 35 comma and double quote name. So whether this space is a problem? Yes. Now just let me rerun and check what is the possible error. So we have our skull like the, yes, now it is giving you all the names. Now you see, yes, these are the names of those persons who have got their ages greater than 35. So this is working nicely. Now df dot I location means if you want a particular location where the indexing is based on the numbers from 9 to 25 and 2 to 10. So 2 to 10 means it's all taking all from the beginning to until fair. So 2 to 10. So the column number that also begins with 0. So it means like the third, and because it begins with 0, so 0 1 2. So now if I make it 2 to 6, now you see it will be just further. Now it's just only till A's. So 2 is P class, and then 3 is name, 4 is this. Now just let me take you back to the beginning. Now you can see passenger ID is 0, survived is 1, P class is 2, name is 3, because this is 0 in this is column 0, column 1, column 2, name is column 3, column 4, just like that. So the 0 1 2, so passenger class P class is 2. So in our final answer we should get where the passenger class CP class is also present, and then the 2 3 4 5, and we have given 2 to 6. So this is all is coming. So this is where you can slice the data sets into, like you can make the different category of the things how you want your data set to be present, and then you can plot them. You can use numpy to calculate them. You can find the average value, median value, mode value, name of a person's, whatever you want. So this is called the data science, means you need to be able to do operations on the data set and you can derive the information. Now in this df.iloc 0 to 4 3 and make it educraft, means all those values will be replaced by the word educraft, like some names have been modified. Now see, so these 4 names, so you can do operations like the changing the content of the data set also using these values. A lot of practice is needed, guys, because it is just like doing operations, and what you should have a clear purpose in your head what exactly you want, because the data set is just, you can say this is a tabular representation of the thing. These days with the corona data sets also you can find the date, the number of passengers, number of persons, and then when the date when they were admitted into the hospital, discharged, died. So these are the different kind of columns are there, but you have to derive information, you have to truncate them, you have to manipulate them. You can change the data set also. If there are some null entries there, you can change them. You can convert the one type to another just to derive information. So now this is the df.fare. I'm just trying to find mean. This is called the statistical value. Find the average fare of all the passengers who are present in the ship, all P1 P2 P3 classes. So it is coming as $32 or the euro, whatever at that time available. Now we can also find can say the age, the average age. You can find what was the average age of the people who were on this, and then their groupings based on the age and fare. Find out the median. So median is also central tendency, middlemost observations, just like the mean. But these days the statistical median also plays a great role in calculating the central tendencies value to find the better results. Now if I write here df box is, and then you can retype fare, and then you can find describe. So describe is just a function which gives you the lot of values, like the statistical values, count, mean, standard deviation, minimum values, first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, and the maximum out of the given set. So these are the common statistical data provided by using the function describe, which is like the count, mean, standard deviation, minimum. Lower quartile, second 50% quartile is just median, 75% is the upper quartile, and then you have the maximum value. So now here you see that I'm going to print or find out the controlled, like I want to do operations only on the Panda series A's, and what I'm trying to find out the minimum, maximum, the median, you can take whatever you want, but these operations like the skewness of the data, and but these will be performed on the A's. If you want to take one more categories, because if you write, okay, so this is one I'm just copying and paste because I want to apply the same these operations on the fair. So the min, max, median, skew, because finding out the average of the name does not make any sense. So the data frame is not callable because, oh fine, I have forgot to write aggregate. So let's just type the agg. This is called the, and this was enters the df dot agg, means just on this aggregate you have to apply. Now you see, you find the minimum of A's and fair, the maximum of A's and fair, the median of the A's and fair, and the skewness of the A's and fair. So this is the way you can get the various informations from this series, and you can perform some operations on them. I wanted to do some more things, but I thought that the video will be longer, that's why I tried to keep it minimum. And I wanted to plot them also. I have already published many videos based on the plotting on the NumPy with different kind of the, you can say the plots like the box plot, or you can say the area plot, you can say line graph, histogram. You can watch my other videos and you can see this is spelling wrong. It's group by. So df, sex, fair, group by, and this is the mean value. So on the basis of sex, I'm just trying to find out the mean of the value. So you can see the female average value is 44.47 and the male average value is 25.52. So you can make the different kind of groupings also. I made the above sex and fair, now I make just only one. So but one cannot be called as a group. This is, I'm just saying that anything you can write. So now you can see female passenger IDs average, survived average, but these do not make any sense. The A's average makes sense and the fair average makes sense. What will you do with finding out the average of the P class? So it means just like the mathematics, which can do any operations, but whether that operation is exactly meaningful or you can use them, they're quite handy to find out what you're trying to find out or not. This is, now again I'm grouping, and this time the grouping is based on the basis of the sex and the P class, where the average of the mean value of the fair will be calculated of the sex and P class. Now see the result. So the female and the male sex comes on this side, P1 class is there. Now you can find that the mean, the fair, that is average value for all the group 1, group 2 and group 3 for male, group 1, group 2, or the class 1, class 2 for female. Now you can find that the df.p class, the value counts how many values are there. So it's 491, and in the group 3 and the class 3, they are called P class. P class 3, class 2 is 216 and the class 1 is 184. Now again I'm trying to, okay, so I'm calling them sometimes group, but group actually means the class, because here the group of people, class of people, this is kind of category how the data set represents. Now this I'm trying to finding out the count. So now you can see that the count will give you the different values. So I think we are very close to the end. Thank you very much. Just subscribe to our channel and keep growing with us.